Hey, what's up, guys? During the last few weeks, I've been getting a lot of heat from the atheist community. There's been a lot of aggression to attempts to smear me or to try to discredit me or just attack me. There have been individuals online that have made statements in several different ways on different websites, through comment form and through videos here on YouTube, who have made racial comments to me that I am a drunk Indian or that I am a feather-headed nigger, and a lot of other statements as well. There have been individuals online who have made statements that they are going to do what they can within the next few weeks to basically produce a smear campaign about me, to expose the fact that I am a hypocrite that removes the opposition and that is afraid of open discussion and dialogue. Well, we're going to break this down to expose the dishonesty that's going on here. This all originates from the banning of an individual by the name of Dave S. And we're going to start with him before we work our way up to other individuals that are involved in this little game playing.
He spent a number of videos talking about avoiding drama, and yet instead of responding to my objection, he's here making a video bitching about a wiki article. So in this video I left another comment saying, "I'm sorry, but I have to laugh. You claim you're bold and defiant, and yet I've still yet to hear you make a coherent argument in favour of intelligent design." This links to what you mentioned about how atheists respond to you. The thing is, on the 15th of March I made a video, and tagged you in it so you're at least aware of it, explicitly going through the same objection I've been making for weeks, and I've not heard. Being impressed by my comment, it motivated him to echo the sentiment. The main theme being the notion of true empiricism being more willing to engage with people, which Hogtie has attempted to do in Hangouts as well as comments. But before we get to the best bit, here's a clip from the very video that this conversation took place.
So, I mean, this is the reason why I want you guys to pay attention to the tone of this text right here, because what this really demonstrates is exactly what I've been talking about over and over and over and over again. The reason why I'm so bold and defiant of the atheists here online is because I began to realize that there is no refutation for any of the arguments that we present. Usually what ends up happening here online are people make responses to the things that we're talking about, but they're usually straw men. They're not refutations, they're just responses. And they usually jump over certain points or avoid certain points with a sort of obnoxious twist to try to avoid dealing with why they're wrong or things that would be inconvenient for them in their responses. Or we get things like this: an obnoxious opposition that just zealously opposes with no substance whatsoever. This is the only thing that we have: a zealous, obnoxious opposition with no substance whatsoever that hates and just does everything in its power to defy everything that we're saying and everything that we're talking about. Start calling out people like this that are acting the way that they're acting. Because the Christians, we would be calling out other Christians if other Christians were acting this way. And Christians within the Christian community here online do this all the time. So this shows a superiority in the integrity of the Christians, why people view Christians a certain way, and they expect Christians to act a certain way when Christians act out of line and tell them, look how unchristian you're acting, versus the atheists that are just acting the same way, and everybody laughs at it and supports it.
It seems as though Ronnie, the same person calling out atheists as being scared, dishonest and cowards, has a comment section where he himself has deleted comments that encourage him to have a productive conversation, because as you can see, our comments are nowhere to be seen. Of course, I completely support Ronnie's right to filter comments on his own channel. It is his channel and he can do whatever he wants with it. But you kind of lose the moral high ground when you silence people with a dissenting view. So in the spirit of Hogtie, we won't let Ronnie's hypocritical cowardice and dishonesty go unnoticed. And I completely support Hogtie's suggestion about bringing this up in every hangout, to put the message out there. Here lies your champion, dear creationist, sobbing in the fetal position of comment deletion.
So Dave S.'s contention is that he feels bothered that I have not put him in a first-class position, that he feels that he deserves that I am to dig through the 100 comments that I get at a time, and under each one of those comments, I could have 135 comments under a thread where people are debating and discussing things with each other to 35 or 55 threads underneath each and every one of these comments that I receive. I should dig through these comments to look for Dave S.'s comments because for some reason he's more special than all these other individuals here online. And how dare I respond to somebody else on a different website rather than him? But before getting into this issue of Hogtiechamp and to the issue of the attempt to address whatever critiques Dave has had, we need to start at the beginning as to how these issues really started, from a discussion that I had with Dave S. A little while back. I'm going to show you a few clips so that you guys can get the idea of what's really going on here.
Yeah, well, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, I think that they're utilized in all living species on the planet. But to compare and contrast with evolution and intelligent design, I think that good ways, let's just ignore both sides, intelligent design and evolution. Let's just look at the data. In DNA, you have one strand of DNA that contains the information that codes for the genes. That's called the antisense strand, and or you can call the non-coding strand, I guess. This strand is what transcribes into the messenger RNA, and this is actually designated as a template strand. Now you have another strand. You have another strand that's a sense strand, and the sequence is for the messenger RNA strand that substitutes aerosol for thymine. So if we're going to look at the process of coding in the cell, we're going to try to compare and contrast both explanations to see what's the best explanation for the translation effect of the encoded information in the genes. Let's see what the best explanation is. You have right-handed optical isomers that are only found inside of the DNA, and left-handed optical isomers are found inside of the end result of the polymer strands, the sequences of the polymer strands, or the structure of the protein. If you get if one left-handed optical isomers in DNA, you're not going to be able to fold for proteins. There's going to be a problem there. So you have to have a precise determination of these sequences in order to fold for whatever protein that you're going to fold for. So let's look at this for a second. You need precise sequences, like this English alphabet over here on the side. You have these, the English alphabet placed in a coordinated fashion in precise sequences, so it's giving an overall meaning. Where is it that those particular type of attributes come across? It's kind of like the Miller experiments, where they produce different types of optical isomers or left-handed, right-handed amino acids. You have to get a precise layout of these, and so the question is just going to be, where do you see that come across? Intelligence. Intelligence is the only cause of this particular type of effect. Is there another explanation for the evolutionary side that is actually demonstratable? And the answer is no.
That's not actually the case.
He didn't want to know a word you say. He just wanted to sit there and wait for you to get done so he could say you're wrong. I got a question for you.
Well, he's come back. Let's give him a chance to respond without imaginary scenarios. Can you provide data or a clear argument that refutes what True has said?
I'm not trying to refute it. I'm trying to explain how we have another explanation. Okay.
It won't be intelligible.
Perfect. Okay.
It won't be intelligible.
Well, specifically, I want to clarify too. Specifically, I'm hoping, since I didn't want to get into what the intelligent design people are saying, I just broke down basically what the textbooks say. So I'm hoping that that the conclusion that you're going to come to is going to be based off of data. So that's just something.
You see, this is where Dave S.'s real problems have begun with me. In these clips that I had shown you, what had happened was I had given him some of my views and my ideas of what I have towards intelligent design and the science. That the evidence still comes to the same conclusion that intelligent design advocates hold to. I was expecting him, if he was to disagree with me, to give me some data, some sort of information. What he had said before I had asked him to give me some data, that's what I was expecting from him, he had made the statement that he is not attempting to refute me. Now, keep that in mind, because Dave S. has made the accusation that I'm removing his comments because I'm somehow not wanting to deal with opposition, or that I'm refusing to engage in discussion. Well, he's been commenting for months on my channel and under my videos, and all of his comments are still there for people to see. The only comment that was removed of his was the comments that he had made under my video, which I banned him under, because as soon as you ban that that individual under the comment that they made, that comment is removed. A month ago, after this discussion that we had just had, he had a disagreement with a video that I had put up. And when he had disagreed with me on that video, on spot, I had told him that I am willing to put a discussion up right now for me and you. Within a few minutes, I could set up a hangout. Listen to how Dave S. responds to me, and think about how this reflects on the reason why he had chosen to respond to me through video form instead, and was irritated that I did not respond to him.
You see, as we can see, Dave S. had commented under a video of mine talking about how I'm sorry that is not an explanation. My response to Dave S. when he had made this statement was, well, how about a discussion over this? I can try and set up a hangout in a few minutes. Dave S. responds, well, as I have said before, if you want to have a discussion about a naturalistic explanation, I'm not really the person to ask. But if you want a general chat, or if you want me to fire some questions your way about ID, then I'm on board with that.
You see, he wanted to try to criticize me in a general discussion. And that is not the type of discussion that I was about to allow to happen. If we were going to have a discussion, yes, it is my obligation to answer any criticisms that you would have brought towards me in a discussion. But a discussion that we're going to be having is not where you are going to be throwing questions my way, sitting on the judge's seat. You are going to have to give some explanations as well for whatever claims that you might make, or for whatever views that you might hold, for whatever reasons you disagree with what you're disagreeing with. There is going to be a cross-examination on both sides. Because he felt intimidated about this, he has decided to take a video of mine the moment it was uploaded, that was intended for a specific purpose, to start off a video about me with an attack. You see, he has decided that instead of having a discussion with me, it is safer to attack me through video form, because I would not be in that discussion that he would be putting up about me to correct him. Here is the video that he had started off speaking about me, and the video that he had taken of mine.
Describing TrueEmpiricism's life as a roller coaster really doesn't do it justice, but it's been an eventful few days for him, again. And this culminated in yours truly being banned from his channel. But let's journey back to see how it all happened. If you remember my earlier video, our story began on March the 2nd, when he posted a video inviting people to challenge intelligent design. So naturally, yours truly popped up with 2 objections. Then, a couple of days later on the 4th of March, he uploaded a video saying this.
If anybody out there has put any confidence in me at all, or do put any level of confidence in me in whatever content I put up, or in whatever discussions that I've had, you need to not have any confidence in me at all, because I'm going to let you down. But putting your confidence in somebody like me, especially somebody like me, you're going to be let down. Put your faith in God. Just put your faith in God, and put your faith in Jesus Christ, for you people that are serving God and that are living after him. You understand the truth. You see, what happened was that I had uploaded a video that was intended to talk to my Christian viewers about putting their trust in God and not in man. Dave S. saw that and struck an opportunity to manipulate the intention of that video and to insert it into a manufactured set of events by him. Starting the video off with an unnecessary beginning that has nothing to do with the great debate or these arguments that we would send back and forth. Obviously, if an individual is going to produce an attack like that and be dishonest and manipulate the videos that are put up in a dishonest way, it is not wise to engage with that individual. Why? Because why take the time to put together a video to interact with somebody that is just going to lie about that video and distort it and twist it in a certain way that is dishonest? There is no integrity in those type of back and forths. This was the reason why he was banned. But let's go on to the issue of Hogtiechamp, because Hogtiechamp has also been banned. But Hogtiechamp makes this type of statement or idea that I am afraid of open discussion, and that he's attempted to have discussions back and forth between me and him, and that we have had discussions as well. Well, going on to the issue as to why Hogtiechamp's comments are not showing up on my feed is because he has been banned for a long time because he had called me a dirty pig effer. When it was brought to my attention that he wanted to have an open discussion, I had unbanned him and opened up a space for him to discuss whatever disagreements he might have with me. You see, here's another dishonest approach that Hogtiechamp had made towards me. Hogtiechamp had made a statement in the comments where he had called for an open smear campaign about me, and where he's going to talk about for the next 10 days why I'm a coward and I'm afraid of open discussion and dialogue. Hogtiechamp had made the statement that he had been attempting to open discussion, but he wanted the ground rule set where people are going to be respectful to each other. This is a little bit of a dishonest approach towards me, because I'll grant that, yes, I have been aggressive and a tad overzealous and loud with individuals from time to time in discussions. But usually when this happens with individuals that I'm talking with, it's because in the discussion they're usually being, pushy and condescending to the religious people that are in there, or myself, as if religion is some sort of primitive way of thinking and science is a hidden wisdom for atheists. So if I'm talking about something, I'll question them or critique them based on what they think that they know about the science, if they even understand what we're talking about in the topic. This has never been done to Hogtiechamp. Hogtiechamp has been disrespectful to me in the comments where he had called me a dirty pig effer, but when Hogtiechamp is on camera, he understands to act a certain way, to treat each other, to treat people a certain way, because the cameras are rolling, and he understands that these things can be used against him. Hogtiechamp, when I'm speaking to him, I get the feeling that he doesn't understand a lot about these topics that are brought up. And I'm going to show you some clips to help confirm exactly what I'm talking about. I've spoken to Hogtiechamp a few times, and I want you to compare and contrast my level of aggression with him, for example, to the level of aggression that I was with Dave S. and the video clips that I showed you previously in this video. You can also compare and contrast my level of aggression with him, and a link that I'm going to show you in the description below, to where I'm speaking with Hogtiechamp to this discussion that I had with Dave Vass, or other discussion that I've had with people like DPR Jones on my channel.
Crazy talk that never happened.
And then not only that, but then just the right proteins to interact with all these other proteins happen to this interactive necessity for the cell to function. It just happened chance. I mean, I know the odds are 1,000,000,000 to 1, but it happened. And then for this other protein to come into existence, another 1,000,000,000 to 1, and then another 1,000,000,000 to 1, then another 1,000,000,000 to 1, then another 1,000,000,000 to 1. Hey, we haven't even started making mitochondria yet.
That's not listening.
Exactly.
That's
Hogtie, I don't think you. I mean, the idea is that there was some sort of simplistic material that led up to the observable cell now. There was a gradual development that happened here, and the odds of that happening, even at a base observation of only 300 nucleotides, is extremely unlikely. That's the point.
How many molecules were in? We always keep using the term the primordial ooze, or whatever term you want to use. How many of those?
There's a
how many were in there?
There's a variety of different ideas of how it happened.
Now, how many were in there? Were there 7, or were there exactly 300 that assembled themselves?
That's
Were there 600 and we got lucky? And
the point. Excuse me, but that's the point. Nobody knows, and that the burden of proof is on the one who believes that that's the case.
How many molecules are in a cup of water? 7? 300?
A lot.
A lot. Right.
Let me give you a couple of more things to think about when it comes to this abiogenesis knowledge.
See, in a discussion that I had with Hogtiechamp, and the link will be in the description below so that you guys can see this discussion on a brother of Christ that I know here online by the name of G-Man, Hogtiechamp had been told that, look, I am not even trying. This is what I had said to him. And here is the clip to where I had told him that in the discussion.
Yeah, I'm trying to be polite here, and I'm not getting as in-depth as I could get in-depth, because I don't want to be like, some little pushy guy, but you are hanging yourself as you're speaking.
To further deal with this false accusation that is typically made about me here online, to where I try to pick on people or to just try to, make people look bad when I'm talking to people in discussions, look at another clip with me and Hogtiechamp, to where in this discussion we were talking about DNA and it being sequential specified information, and as to what would not be sequence or specified information, how I had blown them off.
Order is how DNA operates and functions.
Can you give me an example, perhaps, of an imprecise sequence? Of a sequence that is somehow not precise?
Of a sequence that is right now imprecise. A sequence that is maybe not imprecise. I don't know. I can't think of something off the top of my head. It'll probably come to me later.
You see, when it comes to situations where individuals are in discussions with me and I think that they do not know a lot about certain topics, I do not bully them. I do not bring up certain things that I don't think that they're going to understand. And with the situation with Hogtiechamp, for example, I doubt that he understands some of these topics that could be brought up. If Hogtiechamp would have heard me talking about, the reduction of uncertainty and, that of Shannon information versus that of sequential specified information, I doubt that he would have been understanding what I would have been talking about. And to confirm exactly what I'm saying, 2 months before this discussion even happened with me and Hogtiechamp, I had put up a video breaking down the differences between sequential specified information and Shannon information. And there's a little bit more to the situation of Shannon information as well inside of this video, but take a look at this clip that I had put up 2 months before this discussion that I had with Hogtiechamp.
Some atheist apologists attempt to obscure by comparing the information in DNA to that of Shannon information, which originates from Claude Shannon. This cannot be compared, being that Shannon information only deals with the mathematical improbability of an information carrying capacity, not the sequential specified ordered arrangement of that of DNA, which is not only complex, but is also the sequential and ordered type of information.
Now, Dave S. makes this statement in the video that he had put up about me.
The same person calling out atheists as being scared, dishonest, and cowards.
Yep, buddy, that is exactly what I do. But to all the Christians that are out there, that are listening to me speak, you need to understand to be very cautious with what you hear these people say about the Christians here online, especially those Christians that are active here on the internet speaking out against this crap that's talked about all the time here online. People manipulate videos to the point where you can't tell the difference between who's telling the truth and who isn't. Editing things together, taking things out of context to try to paint a bad picture. There's a lot of liars here online. There's just a massive hate, as I keep on talking about, and I'm constantly talking about here online. I've had several people within this week, through videos, call me a drunk Indian, make racial comments to me, or he's an effing retard and all this other crap, and a lot of other statements, or in comments, or, there was a web page that was put up about me where somebody had added that I am a feather-headed nigger, made some racial comments about me again. Some people are just dishonest, and they're doing what they can to try, do the best that they could to try to discredit me here online. And this not only concerns me, this concerns any other Christian that you hear here on the internet. Be careful with what you take and what you hear about any Christian here online, because there was a lot of dishonesty and game playing going